In the second year of being engaged to Monica, she secretly got the paperwork done with her childhood sweetheart. When I rushed to the Civil Affairs Bureau, they were kissing, all sweet. Monica saw me and calmly explained, "Ben is having heart surgery next week and wanted a marriage certificate." I calmly took off the engagement ring and went to hang out with my buddies for a break. Her friends urged her to apologize to me. Monica laughed coldly. "He's been engaged to me. Who else would marry him? Just watch, he'll come back crying in a few days." But later, after she saw me burn our love journal, she went crazy. She proposed to me publicly online. I commented while holding her good friend Nenah, feeling a tingle in my fingers. I'm marrying a woman with a second marriage. Monica was so regretful she was practically throwing up blood, begging me desperately to look at her again. On the celebratory platform, Monica and Ben were kissing sweetly. They were so focused and passionate. I stood at the doorway, squeezing the ring in my hand, feeling totally lost. "Are you here to apply for a marriage license? Where's your fiancé?" The staff member's voice cut through, interrupting the couple at the front. Monica saw me and calmly explained, "Ben is having heart surgery next week and wanted a marriage certificate with me. She considered your status as my fiancé, but don't throw a fit, just understand. Monica and I were high school friends, dated for 4 years in college, and got engaged after graduation. But what I didn't expect was the woman who put an engagement ring on my finger a year ago, promising to love me forever, would get her papers done with another guy today. Relax, I'm very understanding. Wishing you both a happy wedding." With a slight smile, I took off the ring and placed it on the platform. Monica frowned slightly, annoyed. "Jackson, what's this jealousy you're playing at?" I turned to leave, but Ben came down to stop me, explaining with a hurt expression, "Jackson, I'm sorry, don't be mad at Monica, okay? I've got heart surgery next week and was worried about not making it, so I asked her to do this with me. I just wanted to feel the happiness of marriage. Don't worry, if I make it out alive, we'll file for divorce. Don't cry, Ben." Monica, holding Ben's arm, looked at me, displeased. "Jackson, when Ben gets upset, it affects his heart. Do you not want him to recover? We just got a certificate. You're my real fiancé. After his surgery, we'll file for divorce. Do you really need to call off our engagement over this little thing?" "Oh, it's necessary," I replied with a bitter smile. Ben picked up the engagement ring from the platform, saying, "Monica, I'm sorry, this is my fault, making Jackson misunderstand. He took off the ring because he's mad at me." I turned and walked toward the door. Behind me, Monica laughed scornfully. "Don't worry, Jackson's been crushing on me since high school, and we dated for 4 years in college. Whenever I went out with handsome guys, didn't he always come back after a few days?" Back home, I called Victor and planned a trip to City F. "Jackson, I just finished a gallery visit in City A. When you get to City F, drop me a pin. I'll come find you." At 8 p.m., at the Galaxy Bar in City F. After one drink, a striking woman walked in. Classy outfit, dark hair. At first glance, you'd think she's a girl next door type, but a closer look had me choking on my drink. What was Nenah doing here? My phone buzzed twice with a message from Victor. "Jackson, I gotta head overseas urgently. My sister is in City F. She'll keep you company for a few days. She's got money and time. Feel free to boss her around. Don't be shy about it." Guess Nenah spotted me and came straight over. Nenah and I were classmates in high school. She was an art student, graduated from City A Music Academy. Now she's the lead singer of the top band, Plan A, in the country. Last time I saw her was a year ago. Victor and I threw a birthday bash on the same day, and she came all the way from City A. "Jackson, long time no see." Nenah's voice was charming, same nonchalance from our school days. "Long time no see." I motioned her to sit. "Want a drink?" On me. "You're not much of a drinker, are you? No need to harm yourself just because you're heartbroken." Nenah looked at the table full of alcohol, brows furrowed. I'm guessing Victor told her about what happened with Monica. I smirked, eyes lingering on her pretty face, and after a few seconds of hesitating, I blurted out, "Nenah, stay with me tonight, will you?" Her eyes dimmed. Seeing her unhappy, I quickly waved it off with a smile. Sorry. It's fine. She cut me off with a little smirk. I don't even know how we ended up in bed. Next thing I knew, she was unbuttoning my shirt. Admiring her figure, I gulped. Caught her eager gaze. She whispered in my ear. Victor said you're looking for a new love after a breakup? How about me, Jackson? Always ready for action. Nenah, you got a boyfriend? I forced a liquor-induced smile. She seriously answered, single. As soon as she finished, Nenah kissed me like I was precious. Her fragrant lips filled the air, every nerve buzzing. Her kisses went wild. Lost in the moment, I took control until she cried out, tears falling like scattered jasmine petals. Startled, I slowed down as she embraced me comfortingly. Woke up at dawn, hadn't slept at all. Can't believe I slept with Nenah, and she's Monica's best friend, no less. Nenah was still asleep, so I carefully got out of bed. Checked my wallet. Only had $200. Left them on the bedside table. Just reached the hotel lobby when Monica called. Jackson, what did you say to Ben again? He suddenly collapsed this morning. I barely got him to the hospital in time. You could have killed him. I just got married on paper. And you're causing trouble. I told you before, my only husband is you. You knew he had a heart condition, why make it worse with stupid stunts? I clutched the phone tightly, replied calmly. I was busy last night, had no time for him. Monica, I know you care for him, but don't pin things on me that aren't true. Okay? Monica hasn't replied yet, but I hear her friends first. You know Ben's health situation. He's Monica's childhood friend, so she should pay more attention to him. As her fiancé, why can't you get along with him? Why bother talking to her? Monica treats her so well, yet she still wants to call off the engagement. It's so ungrateful. Shut up. Monica interrupted them, her voice cold as she asked me, Jackson, where are you? Ben's having surgery next Wednesday, and he's pretty emotional now. If you come to the hospital and apologize, it might calm him down a bit. I paused to think and then asked, did Ben say I called him last night to curse him out? Sorry, I was busy last night and didn't even get a chance to touch my phone. With a slight smile, I hung up. But soon, Monica messaged me. What did you mean by that just now? Monica, if you could get Ben to the hospital, where were you last night? I shot back. She replied after 5 minutes. Ben couldn't sleep and I was just keeping him company. I treat him like a brother. Not as dirty as you think. At 7, Nenah found me at a breakfast spot across from my hotel. Seeing her, I suddenly couldn't make eye contact. She sat down, casually asking, Jackson, am I, Nenah, only worth 200 to you? I gave a faint aha, and seeing her shocked expression, quickly shook my head. No. Nenah looked at me, emotions swirling in her eyes. Jackson, I was serious last night. Don't tell me you were just playing around? Nenah, we're all grown-ups here. Last night was mutual and the 200 was for your room. I looked right at her, but my voice came out a bit hoarse. Nenah worriedly got up to fetch me a cup of hot water. Jackson, when I saw Monica post the marriage certificate on social media yesterday, I got really concerned. I had Victor keeping tabs on you. When he said you were heading to F City for a trip, I booked my ticket from a city right away. You and Monica are over. Want to give it a shot with me? When Nenah said that, I just smiled softly. Nenah, I dated Monica for 5 years. She's your best friend. So what? She slightly raised an eyebrow, her dark eyes openly honest. Sorry, Nenah, The bitter feeling welled up, leaving me speechless. Nenah just smiled nonchalantly. Got it. Don't sweat last night. Even if you were playing, I'm okay with it. There's so much to see in F City. I'll keep you company these few days. 2 days later, Nenah said she'd take me on a motorbike ride to the beach. Walking out of the hotel, I saw her leaning against the bike, helmet in hand. The sunlight poured down, like time paused for a moment. For some reason, I suddenly recalled her and her friends speeding past me on bikes back in high school. Once on the bike, there was a faint smile in Nenah's eyes. She gave me a look through the rearview mirror. Jackson, I ride fast. Hold my waist so you don't fall off. As the engine roared to life, I paused, then wrapped my arms tightly around her waist. In the bike's mirrors, Nenah's face was full of vibrant joy. Reaching the coastal road, the sound of the wind filled my ears. Summer seemed to be here. The sun gradually set, shells dotted the golden sand, and boats swayed gently in the distance. My phone suddenly rang. Nenah pulled over by the road. "Take your call. I'll snap a pic or two for Victor." Okay. Turned out to be a call from Monica. I walked a few steps away before answering. "Jackson, where are you? My mom's picking a wedding date for us. Send her your birth details." Her words made me furious. I snapped back, "Monica, did you take a forgetfulness pill? What wedding? We've broken up. Let Ben send his details. He's your rightful fiancé now." So angry, yet you say you're not jealous? It's been days and you're still mad? Ben's surgery went well. I applied for a divorce yesterday. Once the cooling off period is over, we'll marry. Isn't that okay? Of course not. I stressed again that our engagement was off. Monica's tone suddenly turned icy. "Jackson, stop being petty. My patience has limits." "Monica, why not apologize to Jackson? He seems genuinely upset this time. If he marries someone else, you'll regret it." Someone advised Monica over the phone. Monica scoffed dismissively. "He was engaged to me. Who would marry him now? He'll come crawling back in no time." Growing increasingly agitated, I ended the call and turned off my phone. On the last day of my vacation, I returned to B-City. After landing, I took a cab to Monica's apartment. Monica is the heiress of the R Group. After graduating, she took over the family business. A few days ago, we planned to live together, so she moved into her new place. Ben lives across from her. She said the elders wanted them in the same community for convenience. The last time I stayed over, I left my journal there. It holds every detail of our relationship. I need it back. As soon as the door opened, I saw Monica in the kitchen making soup. Ben, wearing an apron, stood close to her, looking into the pot. In my memory, this was her first time in the kitchen. She has a sensitive stomach. When we were together, I prepared breakfast for her. She said it was the best she'd ever had. So I made breakfast for her for years. I tried different recipes, just to make her happy. Upon hearing the door, Monica barely glanced at me and returned her gaze to the pot. Ben approached with a slight smile. "Jackson, you're back. I just got discharged today, and Monica's cooking. You're not jealous again, are you? Monica's your legally wedded wife. Why would I be jealous?" I replied coldly, maneuvering around him toward the bedroom. Monica put down the spoon and glanced back as if pulled by something. Her gaze focused on the right side of my jawline. "Jackson, what's that? Are you blind? Can't you tell it's a hickey?" I replied bluntly. Monica's face darkened with anger. "Damn it! Who did that? Jackson, you dare sleep with someone else? Monica, don't let this get you all worked up. Jackson's off in City F traveling alone. Probably got lured by some sketchy women. That's why he couldn't give you a straight answer." Ben grabbed Monica's arm and gave me a sympathetic look. "Jackson, a man who can't respect himself is like a rotten cucumber in a garden. No woman would want that." I gave Ben a punch, saw him hit the ground firsthand. I asked coldly, "Ben, who gave you the guts to spread rumors about me right in front of my face? You knew Monica was engaged but still wanted to marry her. I didn't call you out on that. Does that give you some twisted sense of accomplishment?" Ben's eyes filled with unwillingness. Monica seemed pained, yet her gaze toward me turned resentful. "Jackson, you say you're not jealous or mad? I admit not telling you beforehand about marrying him was my fault, but Ben's not well. If you're angry, direct it at me." "Monica, I didn't push Ben, whether you believe me or not. I came to get that diary of mine. Let's not stay in touch anymore." I walked into the bedroom and grabbed the diary. "Jackson, are you serious?" At the door, Monica stopped me. I looked back, tears of laughter in my eyes. "Monica, I just realized my high school crush on you was a joke. Liking you brought a storm cloud over my life. Back in senior year, I accidentally fell into a river. When I woke up, I saw Monica. That's probably when the crush began." 3 days later, Nenah invited me to plan a band's anniversary concert. I agreed. At 7, I sat in the audience as the stage lights came up and the crowd's screams roared like boiling water. Jackson, check it out. My sis is pretty popular. Huh? My dad was always telling her to come back and take over the family business. But she said Dad's still young enough to handle it for another 10 years. She's after her passion now. Victor pulled out a fan support banner from his bag and laughed, motioning for me to grab a corner. I glanced at it and saw it read "Loving Yourself is always Plan A." Plan A band had 4 members. After the anniversary song, the others left the stage. Nenah picked up a guitar and chuckled. Next up, a new solo song I wrote for a friend. Hope it brings him happiness every day. The guitar began, and her soft voice flowed out. Somehow, it felt like warmth made solid. Suddenly, I remembered something she said in City F. Jackson, how about trying to be together? Nenah's eyes met mine. My heartbeat synced with her voice for a moment. Jackson, why's my sis staring at you like that? Is that song for you? Come clean, you hiding something? No, she's looking at you. Huh? You're telling me my sis is giving her brother the soft eyes? That's twisted, man. Victor laughed mischievously at me. Feeling a bit guilty, I hadn't told him what really happened that night in City F. After the concert, Victor took me backstage. Hey everyone, I'm Jackson, a friend of Nenah's brother and her high school classmate. As I introduced myself, one guy with curly hair gave Nenah a knowing look, teasing. So, Nenah, he's the one you like? That song was for him, right? His words made everyone laugh. Nenah shot them a glance and raised an eyebrow slightly before she warmly looked at me. Jackson, it was written for you. Not a love song though. It's about leaving dark days behind and hoping for a bright future. Realizing it wasn't a love song, I sighed in relief, yet felt something else. The next day, Nenah texted me. Jackson, are you free this Saturday afternoon? A friend and I have a volleyball game. It's at City B High, hope you can cheer for me. City B High is my old school. I wouldn't mind visiting. After replying to Nenah, I received 2 voice messages from Monica's little brother, Eric. Jackson, are you free this Saturday afternoon? I only played the first one. It's probably about Monica. Frankly, there's nothing to discuss. Saturday came, I went to City B High. But at the gym, there was Monica in white sportswear, facing Nenah. So, Nenah's volleyball match is against Monica? Eric spotted me, grinning. Monica, give Jackson a break today. You've been drinking over him these days, we all saw it. Making up would be best for both of you. Monica looked at me, her face blank, voice cold. Why'd you call him here? I'm not desperate to find a boyfriend. Why keep bending to his tantrums? Then she softened. One last time, if he gives me water, I'll swallow my pride and make peace. Their voices weren't too loud or soft, just perfect for me to overhear. I ignored them and walked straight to Nenah. Jackson. Nenah ran over, smiling. Here's your water. Good luck with the game. I handed her a drink. Thanks, your first time bringing me water. I'm winning today. Nenah, what are you doing? Jackson's my fiancé. Are you trying to steal him? Monica rushed over, slapping Nenah's cheek. Nenah quickly slapped back. Steal what? Last I checked, your husband's Ben, right Monica? Jackson saw you marry Ben. He's just your ex now. I warned you, if you're not true to him, I'll take him away. I don't make empty threats. Monica stepped back a couple of steps, her eyes filled with fierceness. Seeing her about to hit Nenah, I pushed her away. Monica, what's gotten into you? Monica looked like she remembered something, her eyes turning red. Jackson, don't tell me you were fooling around with Nenah those days in F City? Do you know she's my friend? Nenah's a big star now. She's just playing around with you. There's no way she's serious. I laughed coldly. So what? Monica, you should understand. From the moment you and Ben got your marriage license, our engagement ended. Who I'm with and what I do is none of your business. Seeing my determination, Monica softened her tone. Jackson, I'm sorry. It was because of Ben's heart surgery. He was scared he wouldn't make it, so he begged me to get a license with him. We've known each other since we were kids. I couldn't say no. I've already filed for divorce. Once the waiting period is over, we can get married. What do you think? I glanced at her dismissively. I don't think so. Our relationship's over. Please don't bring up marriage again. Monica glanced at Nenah and left, sulkily. Nenah, that's not cool. You and Monica are friends, and you went for her fiancé. Eric scoffed at Nenah, then looked at me. Eric, are you stupid? Jackson's not her fiancé anymore. Nenah clenched her fists, cutting off Eric. Eric stiffened and slinked away. Seeing the injury on Nenah's lip, I took out a band-aid from my bag and handed it to her. But she didn't take it. Jackson, I can't see it well. I might waste your band-aid by putting it on wrong. Can you put it on for me? I looked up at her and saw her smiling with the corners of her eyes. So I tore the band-aid open and carefully placed it on the corner of her mouth. I chuckled lightly. Did you purposely invite Monica to play basketball? Nenah didn't deny it, smiling as she asked me, Jackson, when did you start liking Monica? I was taken aback, then pointed towards the artificial lake in front of the library. Junior year, I accidentally fell into the lake. Monica saved me back then. Second term of junior year, one day I got a call from my mom about some urgent matter. As I was leaving the library to head to the school gate, I tripped over a stone and fell into the lake. When I came to, I saw Monica. Since then, my eyes were always on her. Throughout college, everyone envied me for having a girlfriend who loved me so much. But no one knew how much effort I put into pursuing her. Nenah, what are you looking at? I waved my hand in front of her when I noticed she was staring at the lake, lost in thought. Nothing, let me take you home. Nenah withdrew her gaze and smiled at me. Her smile was so bright, her eyes sparkling with life. For a moment, her smile took me back a few years. These cities know. One High was the best school in the city. Back then, Monica and Nenah were famous at school as transfer students. Both were top students neck and neck. In our sophomore year, Nenah and I were in the same class. She sat right behind me for 2 years. In my memory, even in high school, she had this unique vibe. She hasn't changed. She's still full of energy. At 1 a.m., my phone kept ringing. I picked it up and saw it was Monica, calling with a strange number, along with a bunch of texts in weird symbols. I blocked the number and turned off my phone. But the next morning, Ben showed up at my door looking worn out, yet his tone was just as unfriendly. Jackson, do you know Monica had a stomach bleed last night because of you? She refuses to go to the hospital and locked herself up. She won't see anyone. She only wants to see you. Come with me to her house. Ben, with what authority are you asking me to do this? As her husband? That's quite generous of you, asking a 5 years ex-boyfriend to see your wife. Aren't you worried we might rekindle the old flame? As soon as I said that, Ben's face turned a bit sour. As guys, I could see he liked Monica. He had health issues since childhood, and a few years back, he went abroad for treatment. When he got back, he found me and asked me to break up with Monica, saying she would do anything for him. Ben's feelings for Monica were no secret. Since he returned, Monica's life seemed more focused on him, constantly taking him on trips and trying out new food. If you didn't know better, you'd think Ben was her boyfriend. Of course, I argued with her about it, but she said it was a task given by elders to take good care of Ben due to his congenital heart disease. At 3 a.m. the next day, I was woken by loud noises from the living room. I nearly thought it was zombies raiding. When I opened my bedroom door, Monica was sitting on the couch, with stuff scattered all over the floor, and she was holding my diary. I must have been so mad lately, I forgot she had a spare key. Seeing me, Monica stood up excitedly, trying to hug me. I sidestepped and she tumbled to the floor. Jackson, can we get back together? I saw your diary. You never let me see it before. Turns out it was all about your love for me. I know you're with Nenah to spite me. I don't care what went on between you two, as long as you're back with me. Didn't you want to start your design studio? I'll find a spot for you first thing in the morning. You said you wanted 2 cats. I'll get them for you. Okay? I was wrong to agree to get a license with Ben. I should have told you sooner. If it were you, facing a heart patient, you wouldn't refuse, would you? We've been together nearly 5 years. I'm used to having you around. Ever since you started ignoring me, I felt like a part of my heart just caved in. It hurts so much. She sat on the floor, pitifully rambling as if talking to me, blaming herself. Caved in? It was oddly funny. Monica, what's with this crazy midnight stunt? If you're sick, see a doctor. I reached out to pull her up, intending to show her the door, but she clung to my leg, refusing to let go. Couldn't hold back. I slapped her hard. Monica, can you stop being such a child? Breaking up wasn't neat. How are you supposed to be a CEO of a conglomerate? You'd be better off playing with mud alongside a 3-year-old. Monica looked up, her picturesque face marked by a slap. I cut to the chase and asked what was bothering me. Monica, it wasn't you who saved me back then, so why'd you lie about it? Did Nenah tell you the truth? Monica stiffened, glancing at the floor before letting out a sudden laugh. Jackson, the person who saved you back then wasn't me. It was Nenah. At the hospital, Nenah went to change out of her soaked school uniform. You woke up and asked if I was the one who saved you. I didn't correct you, letting you mistakenly believe it was me. I admit I had a selfish motive. I already had a crush on you. Nenah and I transferred from a private high school to City B High. Everyone was afraid to cross us, but not you. As the student council vice president, you treated us no differently. That time Nenah was late, you insisted on marking her down despite the teacher's objections. It left a strong impression on me. The next day, Nenah went to City A for a training camp that lasted 6 months. When she came back after her art exams, she found out you had fallen for me and chose not to mention saving you. So that's how it was. Actually, Victor told me about it yesterday. She said Nenah didn't want to bring it up in front of me, mainly to avoid stirring up any traumatic memories of nearly drowning. Monica, do you have a lighter? Can I borrow it? Monica paused for a moment before pulling out her limited edition lighter from her bag. I took it and headed to the kitchen to grab a basin. Right after, I snatched the diary from her hands, ripped out a few pages, lit them, and tossed them into the basin. Jackson, what are you doing? Monica's eyes widened. She tried to stand up to stop me but fell back down, too drunk to manage her balance. The diary held 106 entries chronicling my crush, and the rest documented our relationship. Jackson, if you keep tearing them, they'll be gone. Do you really want to burn our love in this basin? Do we really not have a chance? I paused, casting a blank look at Monica. Then, I threw the remaining half of the diary into the roaring flames. Watching the handwritten pages turn to ash, memories grew wildly in my heart until they left a hole in it. I wasn't supposed to feel sad about it. I just felt a pang of regret that 17-year-old Monica was gone. After burning it, I called Ben. Come and pick up this drunken mess, Monica. You could actually manage your wife at one point? How'd you even manage to snatch her away from me? There was a choked-up silence on the other end of the line, but nothing more was said in the end. A few days later, it was Nenah's 25th birthday. After the party, she took me to the beach and confessed her feelings. I said yes. Nenah said a lot during her confession, but she left out the part about saving me. I brought it up, and she smiled gently. I was afraid you'd only accept my love because of that. I wanted you to truly like me, only then can we be truly happy together. I smiled and stepped forward to hug her. Nenah, thank you for everything. You've made me genuinely fall for you. You're silly, though. If I hadn't broken up with Monica, wouldn't those 8 years have been for nothing? As long as you marry me, those 8 years of my crush weren't wasted. Her sweet voice lingered in my ears. I pulled away from Nenah's embrace and looked into her bright, smiling eyes. Words failed me, so I kissed her instead. The very next morning, a headline exploded online: Monica and Jackson's 1,706 Days of Romance. Monica was the source. When I saw it trending, I went blank, dreading this blast from the past. She posted 2 long entries. The first detailed our 5-year relationship, mostly excerpts from the diary she'd absorbed that night. The second was an apology and a proposal. Jackson, let's get married. Jackson, give me another chance, please. Monica added a picture showcasing her planned wedding venue. Her posts mentioned marrying Ben while being with me in a long-term relationship. Not a single comment celebrated her. They just told her to get lost. I thought it might have been some dramatic CEO-type romance, but it turned out to be a 2-timing girl. What weird writing is this? Seeing endless lines of it left me shocked. Who has a fiancé and still marries their childhood best friend? As I was about to respond, a hand reached over my shoulder and snatched my phone away. Jackson, don't read those copied love quotes. Nenah nestled into my arms, burying her face against my neck. Jealous women are terrifying, like hungry puppies. We playfully tussled in bed for a bit. I grabbed my phone and retweeted Monica's proposal post. I don't marry twice. Later, Eric told me Monica cried her eyes out, called me repeatedly, but they all came up as disconnected. I had already canceled that number to avoid her harassment. A few days later, paparazzi released a grid of 9 photos of me kissing Nenah at the beach. Seeing it trend, I hesitated to check the comments. Nenah was a big star, comments could easily be venomous. But Victor assured me that no one was criticizing me. Commenters said Nenah and I made a lovely couple. They also mentioned how the famous fashion designer and top band lead singer were high school classmates. Totally cute. That night, Monica posted just a single period. Users said she was finally vulnerable. Minutes later, Nenah posted on social media, finally found the boy I've loved for 8 years. We'll be happy forever. 6 Monica's epilogue. I lost a boy, his name is Jackson. His life should have been as bright as his name, but I held him back for 5 years. It wasn't right. I did care for him, but after we got together, our feelings slowly faded away until we were left with just arguments. I just didn't know how to love someone the right way. I let him down. The day I saw Nenah announce it, I decided to travel abroad to clear my mind. Not long after, Eric called me on video. He told me Jackson and Nenah were getting ready to tie the knot. Nenah and Jackson designed a cosmic wedding scene themselves. Those who saw it said it was super romantic. I checked it out and yeah, it looked really nice. If I hadn't lost him, I would have been the bride. Jackson once told me every string goes on an adventure in the sky for just one kite, and he was that string protecting me as the kite. I didn't get it then, but now I do. But Nenah has become that string protecting the kite. In her hands, the kite flies steady. I can only watch from afar. I wish them happiness, a lifetime of it.